wearing all black,
Aloha! Here with JC and Jeff.
Ain't no time for school today.
hitting bombs.
Hey, watch this punch cut lob wedge. Replace your Marshalls with cart girls. They're better looking. They're serving drinks.
Got to hit bombs off the tee.
Phil talking about a guy taking a shit in the cut.
Mahalo!
That's what we did fireside with Phil.
Fire the stick.
Hit bomb and attack the pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aloha Press podcast and YouTube show. This is one of three this week. We are launching a new series of the YouTube show. Joined today by my co-host, Jeff. I'm JC. Jeff, man, what's going on, buddy? How's it going out there?
I don't know, but you know what I just thought about?
What's that?
One of three, right? Does that mean we got to have outfit changes?
I have no idea. This episode, we're going to talk about the BMW Championship, recapping the second playoff event out in Chicago. So, Jeff, let's jump into it. John Rahm takes home the victory. I mean, it was an eventful week. It was compared to, like a major event. What was your, highlight of the week so far?
Well, I think it was interesting that Sunday played the easiest of the four rounds because looking at, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, those guys were struggling. It was legitimate U.S. Open style golf. And then, you put the pin sheet up on Instagram for Sunday, and I'm like, dude, they don't have anything near the middle of the green. This is going to be, a tough go. And fuck, guys go out and start shooting 66, 64. Where did that come from?
I have no clue. I mean, because Thursday, Friday, it looked like even par might do it, and maybe a few under. There was some guys that were in the mix early. I mean, Hideki, I believe round one was leading, and it was pretty shocking, and it felt more like a true test of golf that we haven't seen a whole lot of. I mean, yeah, maybe at Jack's event where they freaking absolutely just let the course die and turn into a fucking concrete pavement fucking street. Or the PGA Championship where it was just playing, just long and fucking tight and just with some deep rough. It just seemed like this week was a little different, especially coming off TPC Boston where fucking DJ goes out there and shoots 30 under. And then all of a sudden, the tables are completely turned come the weekend. And it just seemed like it did get easier. I think the one thing that the course was just not exposed to on the weekend was the wind. It just seemed like it just did not blow as it did on Thursday and Friday. So, but it was a cool test. It was, I haven't seen rough 5.5 inches, 6 inches long in a long time. That was kind of crazy.
No, but it was much more enjoyable to watch than the previous week's tournament because I don't like seeing guys stick it every hole. I like to see him struggle and have to get up and down and make 8-footers for par. I mean, Matsuyama on Sunday, he didn't win and he didn't have his best shit, but man, he was making 6-footers all day, tough putts to save pars.
It was, you addressed the pin sheet. It is incredible on how the PGA Tour will set up an event as easy as TPC Boston was, where, the second best guy was at -11. And it seemed like those pins were super accessible. Then all of a sudden you come to a golf course where the things are like, they almost looked illegal. Like it was to a point where like you had to hit the front of the green just to keep it anywhere on the green at all, if not hitting it before, just to give yourself a chance for a 2-putt.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of them looked like what we would call Ricky pins back in the day playing out of Castle Oaks. I mean, there was no 7 paces on, 10 deep. It was like 2 paces on and 3 from the right. Like
it was absolutely challenging. And it was cool to see some of the par 5s that actually played like par 5s when some of these guys, especially on hole number 1, you would pump it into the rough and get into some of that deep stuff. It turned it into a 3-shot hole. And even when the guys were driving it down the fairway, 300 plus, they had a 3-wood, 5-wood that they had to hit 270, 290. And it was cool to see. It was cool to see that it was more, I felt like it was a little bit more similar to some of our games.
Yeah, no, it was tough. It was fun to watch, and it didn't disappoint on Sunday with that finish with DJ rolling in that putt on 18. and then Rahm coming back obviously in the playoff and just putting in the dagger. But I think the biggest shot of the tournament was on 16 on Sunday for Jon Rahm. I don't know if you saw it, his drive on the par 5.
It is that the one where it bounced off the tree and came back in and avoided the creek?
Yeah, it was going into the fucking red stake hazard area. He was gonna fucking have to take a draw, and that thing comes out and he ends up making birdie. And I mean, that was just a huge break.
I mean, and to get into Jon Rahm, I mean, talking about a guy who appears to have some challenge in life, and the broadcast constantly advises us that he is seeing someone, talking to someone, that his anger occasionally gets away from him. To not mark your ball on a Saturday and not to be pissed is disappointing. I wanted him to fucking throw the ball at the fucking official when he walked up and said, like, hey, bro, I picked it up. It's right here. Like, let me just put it back. Like, it's no big deal, right? It was fucking crazy. Have you ever seen anyone do that besides at your local Skins game when we just give people 2, 3, 4 footers?
I haven't, and I don't know how you could do it. I mean, I guess he's grinding as hard as he can, and he's mentally just bought in. But like, that's the first thing you do is grab your coin and put your coin down. Like, that's.
I mean, it's the one thing you teach people. I mean, shit. I've played with guys who don't mark their ball appropriately, and they're quickly corrected. I mean, I remember, a particular individual who picked Jon Rahm this week that used to mark his ball in reverse. He would put the marker in front of the ball and then pick the ball, and you're like, bro, that's not how that works. Like, this is, and so Jon Rahm, yes, he might have cost himself a stroke on Saturday to a spectacular 66 round, but then Sunday he definitely got that shot back, especially when you pump it into what appears to be bamboo fucking forest, and the thing just, I mean, it looked like a backboard when it hit, and then it jumped up into the rough, and it was like the weakest rough I'd seen all week. It almost looked like this, the first cut.
Yeah, but those are the type of breaks you need to win. I mean, that and making 66-foot bombs on the first playoff hole. But
I mean, it was pretty incredible for him to get him in a position where he was at one point in time leading, and then DJ coming down the stretch on 18. I mean, pumps it a little right into the rough, and then all of a sudden he's got to hit an unbelievable shot to 45 feet? And then I will say this, okay? The thing that DJ is driving me crazy is I understand it's a big putt. I understand you want to win. It's the difference between $1.7 million and $1 million in winnings. I totally understand that. It should not take you 7 minutes to fucking line up a goddamn putt. Are you kidding me? You and your brother have to walk around that fucking – it looked like an ice skating rink. They were just doing circles after circles after circles. That fucking hole. I'm like, bro, it's not changing. Like, the only thing that's changing is my time watching you just middle over a fucking putt. It just drove me crazy. So,
well, I got lucky because I was traveling home yesterday from beautiful Bakersfield, California, and I actually had it recorded. So I could fast forward through that shit. But yeah, I mean, even on fast forward, I was like, is he going to hit this putt or what? Like, what is going on?
At some point in time, we have to speed up the game of golf. And I understand you're the last golfer on the golf course, but you have to putt the ball at some point in time and get your stupid brother out of there. I don't know what this thing is or this thing or what. I think it's called aim point. I don't understand the technology. I don't understand what he's doing. In my opinion, I feel like his brother is stepping on the line of the putt, which is concerning. It stresses me out. But then DJ's got his fucking hand on the ground. He's like petting the grass. And then he's like, he's like 30 feet to the side of it. And I'm like, what are you even looking at? Like, what is the side of the putt even? I don't know. I mean, the golf course was in such great condition that you're testing the grain level. I don't know. It just was weird.
It takes forever. It's frustrating to watch, but he's fucking making them.
He fucking made it, and I'll give him that part. Like, he gave us the drama needed, and the only thing NBC needed to do was add like some horror music, like that little drum solo, like right before the putt goes in, because it was it needed some fans and it needed some excitement and it needed people like losing their shit, because I don't know who these volunteers are. They need to turn their hearing aid up, okay? They need to freaking pop a couple Advils, okay? Take a shot of Fireball and get your ass motivated to fucking scream and yell a little bit. I mean, DJ is showing some emotion finally, sinks a fucking bomb, and we get nothing out of the crowd.
No, and especially when Rahm made it. When Rahm made his putt and they kind of just followed him because he walked quite a bit as that ball was going,
Yes.
right? And then he gets a couple fist pumps. And you just see, I don't know, maybe 12 people in the background around the green.
Yes.
And they don't even have a facial expression change. And I'm like, I'd have been running, jumped into the fucking pond. And it's not even, I didn't even make the putt, you know? Like, that's humongous.
Yes. I mean, that was the difference. And then DJ walks up and, leaves it short. How do you leave the putt short? You spent 10 minutes staring at it. I mean, you paced it off 37 times. You can't leave it short. You're not two-putting for nothing. You're two-putting to lose.
Well, it's like we talked about last night during our quick little conference call.
Yeah.
John Rahm's ball was going 12 feet past if it doesn't hit the middle of the stick. He wasn't leaving it short. DJ can't leave it short. You can't.
No, you absolutely cannot. And that's a lesson for every amateur golfer out there, and specifically the guys coming to the Low Hard Press Classic. If you leave one short on 18 to miss out on that first place prize, I think I'm tossing you in the lake. I think that's your punishment. You leave it short, okay, on the final hole on 18 to win, you go in the lake. Let's go, see you later. Like, that's it. That's just the answer.
You know what's funny though? Speaking about Rahm, getting the W, right?
Yes.
We've had two pick the winners this year, and Rahm's been both of them. But the guy who picked him, Eddie Maria, he's very excited about that, and he's a gambler, right? But he was making some comments last night about the fact that he picks the winners when he doesn't actually bet money on anything. So,
I mean, and you know what? That's something that we need to address. Eddie Maria, okay, he doesn't have Instagram. I don't think listens to the podcast. I think he skims through the newsletter, which I appreciate. He sends me a quick response. He picks John Rahm, and me, silly me. We're offering up gear, bourbon, and then I think, I'm like, my dumbass, it's a no-cut event. It's got only 70 players. One of these guys in the top 10 he's not even playing in Webb Simpson. And, he picks the winner, and good for him. I mean, he harnessed an opportunity to win himself a bottle of bourbon and some Aloha Press gear, which is neat. We'll be delivering that to him at the golf course. So maybe before the U.S. Open, maybe we have Eddie Maria come on the podcast and give us his no cash bet, picks. I don't know. We can back that shit up.
And we need to give a shout out to his dad, E3 Big Ed, because he not only picked this week too, but he picked the worst player out of all.
No. He picked the third worst player.
Well, I mean, out of the picks. I know he didn't
absolutely.
pick Mark Leishman.
And we'll get to Mark. In a second.
But, he went with Jason Day. I think he finished, plus 15? I don't know, somewhere around there.
I didn't even know Jason Day was in Chicago. I never saw him on the coverage. He was nowhere near. Like, I saw Tiger more and Mark Leishman more than Jason Day, which is kind of incredible because Jason Day was playing pretty well. I mean, to chalk up a plus 16, I mean, that's pretty horrible, bro.
Yeah, he was. He was coming in playing well, feeling better, and then like you said, we got as much airtime as him this week.
It was crazy. So let's get into some of the guys who took a shit this week. Mark Leishman comes in and was plus 30 for the week. I think you could have beat him. I think Ben Smithers could have beat him. I mean, last week DJ was minus 30. This week Mark Leishman is plus 30. And still cashes in a $20,000 check, and he still moves on to East Lake. It's just absolutely incredible. And I wanted to see a plus 30. I've never seen it on the PGA Tour. I want them to highlight those kinds of guys to really makes me feel better about my golf game.
Right. It's very similar to the scores you see posted in the NCGA tournaments we play in.
Exactly.
Right? Oh, fuck, he shot in the 80s? Wait, oh, shit. So,
Hey, pretty good round. He kept it out. Kept it out of the 90s. I mean, it's
hey,
solid.
but he finished all 4 rounds. He got his paycheck, and I was shocked to see that he gets to go to next week. I mean, you think you get last place in fucking a tournament, you shouldn't be going to the next round, but
you probably shouldn't. But I mean, that's the benefit of playing really good in the beginning of the year. I mean, he definitely he played some great golf in the fall and the winter. The one thing that I wanted to highlight was your boy, Billy Horschel, or is it Charlie Horschel? Which one is it? It's our boy
Billy
made it on the number at 30. One particular guy, I can't remember his name. I could probably pull it up. I'm not going to pull it up. The guy freaking 3-putted from 5 feet.
Corey Connors.
Oh my gosh, I felt horrible because I would much rather learn and see Corey Connors than Billy Horschel. It was kind of a sad event.
Hey, but you know who didn't make it?
Who's that?
Matthew Wolf.
He didn't? Oh.
Nope. I think he came in around 34 or 35, somewhere around there. So at least I don't have to watch him next week.
Wrapping up the BMW Championship, I mean, overall, as a playoff event, I thought the venue was cool. I thought some of the things that happened were unique. I thought the television coverage was okay. I didn't think it was the best. I think the product was okay. It was better than CBS. I didn't have to hear Nick Faldo except on his commercial too.
So wait, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Because I like I said, I recorded Sunday and I wasn't really paying attention. At some point in the fucking broadcast on Sunday, Bones went from caddying to commentating.
He sure did. It was pretty incredible. Like it was like a breath of fresh air. Like a guy who just carried a bag for 18 holes for JT, and then just steps up, gets back out on the golf course, grabs a microphone and some headphones, and just goes out there and gives us great insight. Like he had already walked the course, and then he's walking the course with some of the leaders and was able to actually dictate and tell what is actually happening on the grounds and not relying on the fine gentlemen in the booth who haven't done that all day, and really give some cool insight. It was actually pretty intriguing.
Well, I liked it. I thought he did a good job, and he disagreed with Paul Azinger quite a bit, which I liked too. But hey, and Faraday was a breath of fresh air.
Yes.
Having him out there, God, just to bring a little comedy to it, and a little, little light. Yeah, I was like, okay, this is what we've been missing in golf. They got rid of a lot of the old timers, and yeah, we needed that. So not the best broadcast, but better than CBS.
It definitely was better than CBS. It was cool. It was cool to see Bones, Faraday back, and then Paul Azinger. Oh my gosh, he went on this 5-minute rant about trees. Okay, and I don't know if you caught part of this coverage, but Paul Azinger expressed that in the recent years, the courses have been cutting down too many trees, and he enjoys the tree-lined fairways of the Olympia Club in Chicago. And for the amateur golfer, I think the last thing we want on the golf course is tree-lined fairways. It just is obnoxious, and it just kills the grass. Like, Paul, if you have a bunch of trees, you're not gonna be able to grow grass because it blocks the sun. Okay, dipshit. Like it's just weird. Like why is that? Why are you standing on that soapbox? Like that's what you're gonna take up on the game of golf and the what's the fancy term for the golf course terminology? I'm gonna have to cut this out because I'm drawing a fucking blank. The agronomy. Maybe I'll leave it. This was weird. It just was strange. It was just fucking weird. What?
Talking about fucking trees and shade and grass and fucking agronomy and Paul Azinger and all kinds of bullshit.
All right. Should we just move on to show 2 or what?
Yeah. Fuck the BMW. It's over.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
They need to bring fans back.
Yes, I completely agree. All right.
Aloha! Here with JC and Jeff.
Ain't no time for school today.
Hitting bombs.
Hey, watch this punch cut lob wedge. Replace your marshals with cart girls. They're better looking. They're serving drinks.
Got to hit bombs off the tee.
Phil talking about a guy taking a shit in the cut.
Mahalo!
That's what we did fireside with Phil.
Fire the stick.
Hit bomb and attack the pin.